In the heart of Buddhist teachings lies a profound understanding of human experience, a map for navigating our inner world. This map centers on Vedana, often translated as feeling tone or sensation. Vedana is a subtle vibration that colors every experience. Imagine the feeling of a warm breeze on your skin and labeling it as pleasant. This is Vedana, the automatic labeling of experience. It's the label we give to all experiences as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Understanding Vedana unlocks deeper self-awareness. It allows us to observe the constant interplay of likes, dislikes, and indifference. By recognizing Vedana, we see how craving and clinging are created. This teaches us to transform our relationship with suffering. Beyond pleasant and unpleasant, the spectrum of Vedana. Buddhism categorizes Vedana into three main types: pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. Pleasant Vedana arises from experiences we find enjoyable, like a delicious meal, the sound of laughter, or the warmth of the sun. It's a feeling of ease, contentment, and well-being. Unpleasant Vedana, on the other hand, accompanies experiences we dislike: physical pain, a harsh word, or a sense of loss. It manifests as discomfort, aversion, or a desire to push away. Neutral Vedana, as the name suggests, is a more subtle feeling tone, associated with experiences that are neither particularly enjoyable nor unpleasant. However, these categories are not fixed or absolute. What one person finds pleasant, another might find unpleasant, highlighting the subjective nature of experience. Moreover, Vedana is fluid, constantly shifting and transforming. A pleasant sensation can quickly turn unpleasant, just as an unpleasant feeling can subside into neutrality. The trap of craving and aversion. The Buddha taught that the root of suffering lies in our attachment to pleasant Vedana and our aversion to unpleasant Vedana. When we experience something pleasant, we crave more of it, clinging tightly and fearing its loss. This craving keeps us ensnared in a cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. Similarly, when we encounter unpleasant Vedana, we react with aversion, pushing it away, trying to escape or numb the pain. This aversion creates further suffering, trapping us in cycles of anger, fear, and resentment. We become entangled in a web of reactivity, constantly seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. This endless pursuit, however, is ultimately futile. Pleasant experiences are impermanent, and clinging to them only leads to disappointment when they inevitably fade. Similarly, trying to outrun unpleasant experiences is like trying to outrun our own shadow. It's an impossible task. Mindfulness, the key to unlocking Vedana's wisdom. The key to breaking free from this cycle of craving and aversion lies in cultivating mindfulness. Mindfulness, in the Buddhist context, is the practice of paying attention to present moment experience with an attitude of openness, curiosity, and non-judgment. When we bring mindfulness to our experience of Vedana, we begin to observe it with a sense of detachment. We notice the arising of pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral feeling tones without getting swept away by them. Instead of clinging to pleasant sensations or pushing away unpleasant ones, we simply acknowledge their presence with a gentle awareness. This mindful awareness doesn't mean suppressing or denying our feelings. It's about creating a space between the experience of Vedana and our habitual reactions to it. We learn to recognize that feelings, like all things, are impermanent and ever-changing. They arise linger for a while, and eventually fade away. To understand this concept in action, imagine yourself meditating. As you sit or lie down, you bring your attention to the sensations of your breath. You notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the coolness of the air entering your nostrils, the warmth of the breath leaving your body. As you focus on your breath, you might also notice other sensations arising, tingling in your hands, pressure on your back, or a subtle ache in your knee. These sensations, too, are Vedana. With mindfulness, you observe these sensations without judgment. You don't label them as good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. You simply acknowledge their presence with a gentle, curious awareness. As you continue to observe, you might notice that some sensations are more pleasant than others. You might feel a sense of ease and contentment with each inhale and exhale. This is pleasant Vedana. Rather than clinging to this pleasant feeling, you simply observe it with the same gentle awareness. Transforming suffering. The power of equanimity. The practice of mindfulness allows us to develop equanimity, a state of balance and composure in the face of life's ups and downs. Equanimity doesn't mean becoming indifferent or emotionless. It's about learning to ride the waves of experience without getting swept away by them. When we can observe Vedana with equanimity, we're less likely to get caught in the cycle of craving and aversion. We can experience pleasant sensations without clinging, knowing they will eventually fade. And we can face unpleasant sensations with greater acceptance, knowing they too will pass. This equanimity frees us from the tyranny of our reactions. We become less reactive to external circumstances, finding a sense of inner peace that isn't dependent on things always being pleasant or going our way. We learn to find joy and contentment in the present moment, regardless of whether it's filled with pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral Vedana. Cultivating wisdom and compassion through Vedana. Observing Vedana with mindfulness not only helps us manage our own suffering, but also cultivates wisdom and compassion. As we become more attuned to the subtle language of feeling, we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. We begin to see how our own actions, words, and thoughts create ripples of Vedana, not just within ourselves, but also in the world around us. This understanding fosters a sense of responsibility for our actions and a desire to act in ways that create more peace and harmony for ourselves and others. Furthermore, mindfulness of Vedana allows us to connect with the shared humanity of suffering. We realize that everyone experiences pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral feeling tones. We all long for happiness and seek to avoid suffering. This realization can open our hearts to greater empathy and compassion, allowing us to meet the suffering of others with greater kindness and understanding. Embracing life's rich tapestry, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. Mindfulness doesn't aim to eliminate Vedana. Life is a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain. Eliminating unpleasant feelings is like weaving with one color, incomplete. Mindfulness teaches us to embrace all feeling tones. Even unpleasant Vedana is an opportunity for growth. Meeting difficult emotions with mindfulness transforms them. We can meet suffering with presence and acceptance. The path to liberation. Walking with Vedana. The path to liberation as outlined by the Buddha is not about escaping from life's challenges. It's about waking up to the truth of our experience and letting go of our attachments. By cultivating mindfulness, we can walk this path with grace and resilience. We can meet life's ups and downs with wisdom and compassion. The journey begins with a single step, a moment of awareness and a conscious breath. As we walk this path, the wisdom of Vedana unfolds, revealing true freedom.